Sometimes I just like to just live the lie. Live the lie, edit everything that I don't like about myself out of the photos and just enjoy seeing myself with a new lease of light, or at least no frown line. And how much editing is living a lie? This is what I want to talk about. Let's delve in. As a photographer, I've always been very, very mindful of this with my clients, okay? I've always sort of given myself the rule of, unless they ask, some people used to ask, can you do this? Can you take out that? Can you make me slimmer there? Can you make that bigger, that smaller? And I would slightly reluctantly agree. But as a rule for myself, I would say I would edit people in terms of what some extra sleep would do, for example. So I would reduce the bags under their eyes, or, potentially what would some better lighting do that I could have done at the time of the shoot. Very often, this is what I do. I export one image at a time. I just wanted to drop that in there because sometimes it's just easier. If you edit one image and then you export one at a time, it's easier to keep the flow going and keep it organised, rather than editing them all and then trying to pick out the ones you've edited at the end to export. So that's what I was doing here. But yeah, so that's what I've always kind of done, is reduce bags under the eyes, maybe brightened the eyes a little bit. Of course, as I was saying, all these things can be got right at the time of the shoot with the good lighting. And this is why I feel that it's so important to do your best in terms of lighting at the time of the shoot. As photographers, I think we have a responsibility and a duty of care to be mindful about the amount of editing that we are doing to people and the way that they look. And just being mindful of this and being maybe compassionate, and shining a light really on why we feel the need to edit people and change things and make them look our perception of perfect, whatever it is. I think that we have to be really careful, and I feel like there's too much what's the word? Airbrushing. I've never had any airbrushing software, but I can understand this from both perspectives, believe me, right? Because as a photographer, I absolutely love creating the perfect image, right? And of course, it begs the question, what is perfection? What does that mean? It's different for everybody, isn't it? It's a different thing. But this, for example, watch the transformation of this image. I loved playing with this image, and I loved what it did to my face and how smooth it smoothed everything out. The final image, once I finally just decided on a filter, and it's that smooth look. It's that filter that accentuates the arch in the eyebrow. It's the filter that smooths the skin out so you just look blemish free, right? And it's in doing so, you create a texture or a smoothness, whatever the case may be, of an image that is easy on the eye. It lets the eye glide around the image comfortably. It creates just not only a journey for the eye, smoothing out certain bits, taking out certain bits, bringing bits in, tightening bits up. It creates a comfortable, smooth ride for the eye, but it also simplifies. It's like there's less information going into the mind, right? This sounds really odd, but it with less bumpy bits, if you like, or less blemishes, it's it's a simplified image. Does this make sense? Visually, you know, and as photographers, of course, we are such visionaries. We're visual people. And to recognize why we want to adapt somebody from the point of view of the photography, it's important to separate that from them not being enough. Them not being enough. It's kind of two opposing forces almost within me. This desire to create this cool image that is blemish free, but also the responsibility of acceptance of oneself. The responsibility of when if I accept myself how I am, completely natural, what impact does that have on others and, you know, visitors to the channel and clients and models and everybody who are self-judgmental as I am. And so it's a bit of a balancing act, to be honest with you. And as I was saying, sometimes I just love living the lie. Look at this. Look at these filters, right? What a difference it makes to the smoothness of my face. And where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line in altering the way that a person looks? I remember once I had a photo of me, and it was years and years and years ago, right? I edited this photo to the point that I had made my eyes look bluer, the whites of my eyes looked whiter, I smoothed out, I took every spot out of my skin. It wasn't airbrushing, it was done in Photoshop, but I perfected my face, if you like, and made it visually blemish free, right? But it was mainly the eyes, I suppose, the vibrancy of the blue of the eyes and the whites of the eyes. So my eyes really popped. And when I showed my brother the photo, I'll never forget it. He just looked at it and he said, "It's soulless. It's soulless." Now, I was just having great fun tinkering around in Photoshop and playing, and it gets completely addictive, to be honest with you. You take out one spot and then you notice another one, and then you've got one little line, you'll take that out. Oh, I'll reduce the eye bags, and then, oh, hold on, I could lengthen my eyelashes. So I get on the little brush tool and I lengthen the eyelashes, and then I notice, oh, now that they're darker, I could do with darkening my eyebrows actually, so I'll put a little bit more makeup on me, and then, oh, I've got a little bit of a wide chin going on, or a bit of a double chin, or I'll smooth that out and I'll go in with the liquify tool and I'll slim down the face a little bit, and oh, what else can I do? This is so much fun. I'm really in the flow here. Let's have a look at my hair. Oh, I know what I could do. I'll get the dodge tool and I will paint over the highlights in my hair, and I'll lift the highlights in my hair so that my hair looks more vibrant and there's more texture in my hair. So I'll do that, and then I will go into my jewelry, like earrings and rings and bracelets and necklaces, and I'll, using the dodge tool still, I will increase the highlights on my jewelry to just make them pop. Great little tips, aren't they? And I'll make all the little highlights on anything blingy, I'll make those pop. And then I'll sit back and I'll look at the image and I'll think, what else could I do? Oh, I don't like that shadow on my nose, or definitely take that out. Oh, maybe I could slim my nose down a little bit. I've never done that, don't know how to. But, you know, you get the idea. And it's shot from a certain angle. If in some cases in underwear, you might get lines on the skin down the hips or the waist or the upper thigh where your underwear is sort of pressed in, and then there's a slight indentation of the skin, and you look at that and you think, well, the eye's not really flowing over the line of the body quite right because of that little indentation of the skin there. So I'll just get my liquify tool again, or my clone stamp, and I'll just clone that along so that the line of the skin is completely smooth there, because that's going to help the eye visually to flow over the image, right? And so it goes on. And it's not necessarily always through not accepting the person that you're editing, or yourself if you're editing yourself, right? It's actually sometimes just because you're having so much fun on Photoshop or in Lightroom, playing around with the editing tools and the filters and what they do. But I just feel that we have this duty of care in almost bringing to light why we do these things, why we feel the need to do these things, and how it doesn't necessarily take away from the beauty of the imperfections of the person. Them in their truest light should be put across as equally as beautiful as the edited version in a different way. And it's really important. It's really, really important to help people as a photographer, for them to feel beautiful in their own skin. It's so important. To photograph somebody and uplift them and make them feel confident in the way that they look should be one of the biggest priorities as a photographer. Because a photo shoot of somebody at the right time in their life, when they're feeling a certain way, they've gone through some stuff, they're feeling at a low ebb, the right photo shoot, the right photographer, the right attitude can be absolutely life-changing. And it can be absolutely transformational for the person that you're working with. Like, my mum will always celebrate my goofy smile. She will always love the photos of me where I'm smiling like an absolute idiot, right? And I hate the picture. And she will love it because I look happy. And sometimes I remember that when I'm capturing other people, to capture them and see them and to help them love the version of them that is the authentic, real version, to help them see themselves through the eyes of love, is an absolute gift. So as a photographer, maybe sometimes we need to separate we need to just maybe tone down, or just be mindful of the creative in us that wants to edit the shit out of a photo, excuse my language, just for the pure fun of it. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of the impact that could have on the person that we're working with. And, you know, even if we need to have a conversation around it or bring it to light, or don't let the person see the before and after. Maybe we give them a little bit more sleep. Maybe we lighten their face in certain areas, but we don't let them see that we've done that. You know, a little bit of brightening of the face, I think, is okay, but to just be mindful of how our work is going to impact their state of mind about themselves and their confidence and their self-esteem and all of those things. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments, and what do you think we can do as photographers to bring back a level of realness in photography that is so important, and how much editing is living a lie.